There is a $3 spray sitting at any hardware store right now that applied to any corroded electrical outlet, light switch, or circuit breaker contact dissolves the oxidation layer completely, restores full electrical conductivity, and leaves a protective film that prevents corrosion from returning for years. No electrician, no panel work, no outlet replacement. A licensed electrician will charge between $100 and $200 per outlet or switch to diagnose an intermittent connection, replace the device, and restore function. The diagnosis takes 15 minutes. The replacement takes 20 minutes. The actual problem in the majority of cases is not a failed device. It is oxidized metal contacts that a $3 spray resolves in 10 minutes without touching a wire. They did not hide this because it fails. They hid this because it works. And a $3 spray that fixes in 10 minutes cannot be billed at $150 per outlet by a licensed electrician. This is the story of the most overlooked failure mode in residential electrical systems and the $200 billion electrical services industry that built a replacement revenue stream around a problem that Contact Cleaner solves for the price of a cup of coffee. Welcome to Dr. Cole Survival. This is where we dig up what the industry buried. If these stories matter to you, hit subscribe and ring the bell right now. In the fall of 2008, a facilities manager named Raymond Kowalski was troubleshooting intermittent power failures in a 1970s-era office building in Cleveland, Ohio. 3 separate circuits on the second floor were showing inconsistent behavior, outlets that worked sometimes and not others, fluorescent fixtures that flickered without pattern, 1 circuit breaker that would trip under normal load conditions that had never triggered it before. The building's electrical contractor had visited twice. First visit, 2 outlets replaced at $140 each. Second visit, 1 circuit breaker replaced at $280. Total billed $560. The intermittent failures continued after both service visits. Kowalski pulled the panel cover himself and inspected the breaker connections under a flashlight. The bus bar contacts, the metal surfaces where circuit breakers clip onto the distribution panel, showed visible gray-black oxidation across 6 positions. Not the breakers themselves, the contact surfaces they connected to. He applied electrical contact cleaner to every bus bar contact surface and every breaker clip. Total material cost, $4. He reinstalled the panel cover and restored power. Every intermittent failure in the building stopped the same afternoon. The electrical contractor, who had billed $560 across 2 service visits, had replaced devices without inspecting the contact surfaces those devices connected to. Replacing a circuit breaker whose contact clip is oxidized installs a new device onto the same corroded surface. The failure mode transfers to the new device within months. Kowalski called the contractor. The contractor acknowledged that contact cleaning was standard practice in industrial electrical maintenance. He had simply not applied it to a residential-grade commercial panel because the replacement revenue was higher than the cleaning revenue. Go back to 1831, to a laboratory at the Royal Institution in London. Michael Faraday was conducting the experiments that would establish the foundational principles of electromagnetic induction, the physics behind every electric motor and generator ever built. Faraday was working with copper wire coils and iron cores, connecting them with mechanical contact switches that he had fabricated by hand. Within weeks of beginning his experiments, he noticed that his contact switches were producing inconsistent results. The same switch configuration that produced a reliable induced current one day would produce a weaker or absent signal the next. Faraday traced the inconsistency to the contact surfaces of his switches. The copper and iron contact points were oxidizing in the air of his laboratory. The oxide layer, copper oxide on the copper contacts, iron oxide on the iron contacts, had significantly higher electrical resistance than the base metal beneath it. Variable oxidation produced variable resistance. Variable resistance produced variable experimental results. Faraday began polishing his contact surfaces with fine abrasive cloth before each experimental session and noted in his laboratory journal that consistent contact surface condition was prerequisite to reproducible electrical results. He was not solving a practical engineering problem. He was identifying the fundamental relationship between metal surface oxidation and electrical contact resistance that every electrician in the world learns in their first week of training. The oxide layer on your outlet contacts right now is the same phenomenon Faraday was polishing off his copper switches in 1831. The physics has not changed once. In 1946, engineers at the Bell Telephone Laboratories in Murray Hill, New Jersey, were developing the switching equipment that would handle the explosive post-war growth in telephone traffic across the American network. Telephone switching required millions of metal contact connections that had to maintain near zero resistance reliably for decades of continuous service without human maintenance. Bell Labs engineers ran systematic tests on every available method of preventing contact oxidation on the copper, silver, and gold alloy contacts used in their switching equipment. They tested oils, greases, coatings, and chemical treatments against unprotected control contacts in accelerated aging chambers that simulated years of environmental exposure in weeks of laboratory time. The compound that produced the best results across every test condition was a light petroleum-based solvent carrier combined with a corrosion inhibitor that left a thin protective film on the metal surface after the solvent evaporated. It penetrated existing oxide layers, dissolved them chemically, and deposited a film that prevented oxygen and moisture from reaching the metal surface long enough to reinitiate the oxidation reaction. Bell Labs standardized this compound across their entire switching network maintenance program in 1948. By 1955, variants of the same chemistry were being sold commercially under multiple brand names for industrial electrical maintenance. The $3 spray at your hardware store today is a direct descendant of the compound Bell Labs standardized in 1948 to maintain the reliability of the American telephone network. The chemistry has been in continuous industrial use for 75 years. It has maintained electrical contact reliability in environments ranging from Arctic telephone exchanges to tropical military radio installations to deep-sea oil platform electrical panels. Your kitchen outlet contacts are a less demanding application than any of those environments. The $3 spray handles all of them. Here's the mechanism in detail and why the failure mode in your home is almost certainly contact oxidation rather than device failure. Every electrical connection in your home, every outlet hot and neutral contact, every switch contact blade, every circuit breaker bus clip, every wire terminal under every wire nut is a metal-to-metal contact that depends on low surface resistance to conduct current reliably. The resistance at that contact determines how much of the electrical energy traveling through the circuit is converted to heat at the connection point rather than delivered to the device at the end of the circuit. A clean copper to copper contact has a resistance of approximately 0.001 to 0.005 ohms, enough resistance to produce negligible heat at normal residential current loads. An oxidized copper contact, copper oxide, has a resistivity approximately 10,000 times higher than pure copper, can show contact resistance between 0.5 and 5 ohms depending on oxide layer thickness and coverage. At 5 ohms of contact resistance, a 15 amp circuit draws enough heat at the contact point to damage insulation, discolor outlet faces, and in severe cases, initiate electrical fires. This is not a theoretical risk. The National Fire Protection Association estimates that electrical fires in U.S. residential structures cause approximately 51,000 fires and $1.3 billion in property damage annually. A significant portion of those fires originate at high-resistance connection points, outlets, switches, and panel connections, where oxidation has increased contact resistance to the point that normal operating current generates destructive heat. A 2014 study published in the journal Fire and Materials tested electrical contact resistance progression in standard residential outlets installed in a controlled humidity and temperature environment over 18 months. At baseline installation, all test outlets showed contact resistance below 0.01 ohms. At 18 months of exposure without cleaning, 34% of test outlets showed contact resistance above 0.5 ohms. 8% showed contact resistance above 2 ohms, the threshold at which heat generation at the contact becomes measurable with a surface thermometer during normal current flow. None of the high-resistance outlets in that study had failed in the conventional sense. They still passed current. The GFCI test button still worked. A standard outlet tester would have shown them as wired correctly. An electrician testing for device failure would have found nothing to replace. The failure mode was invisible to standard diagnostic methods but measurable in the contact resistance data and resolvable with contact cleaner in 10 minutes. The U.S. electrical services market generates over $200 billion annually. Residential electrical service calls average between $150 and $300 per visit depending on location and scope. The average American homeowner makes a residential electrical service call every 3 to 7 years. Outlet and switch replacement accounts for a significant portion of residential electrical service call revenue. The average outlet replacement is billed at $100 to $175 per device, including labor. The average light switch replacement is billed at $80 to $150. A circuit breaker replacement ranges from $150 to $300 depending on amperage and panel access. In each of these replacement scenarios, the device being replaced costs between $2 and $25 at retail. The labor covers installation, but the diagnostic step, determining whether the device has actually failed or whether the contact surface connecting it to the circuit has oxidized, is a step that electrical service companies have no financial incentive to perform before recommending replacement. A device replacement generates $100 to $300 in billable labor plus markup on the device itself. A contact cleaning recommendation generates a $3 suggestion that eliminates the service call entirely. The financial incentive structure of the industry selects against the $3 diagnosis with perfect consistency. There is a second failure mode that contact oxidation produces in residential electrical systems that the industry is even less willing to discuss. Dimmer switches. Every dimmer switch in your home relies on a semiconductor device called a triac that modulates current flow to the light fixture by switching on and off thousands of times per second. The triac connects to the circuit through metal contact points that are subject to the same oxidation process as outlet contacts. When those contacts oxidize and develop elevated resistance, the triac operates at higher temperatures than its design specification allows. It does not fail immediately. It degrades gradually, producing the symptoms every homeowner recognizes: flickering at low settings, buzzing from the switch body, lights that will not dim to full off, switches that feel warm to the touch. The standard recommendation for a flickering dimmer switch is replacement at $60 to $150 per device, including labor. The actual cause, in most cases, is oxidized contact points that contact cleaner resolves in 5 minutes. The same principle applies to the 3-way and 4-way switches that control stairwell and hallway lighting from multiple locations. These switches contain mechanical contact blades that toggle between 2 circuit paths. Contact oxidation on those blades produces the intermittent switching failures that are misdiagnosed as wiring problems requiring $300 to $500 in rewiring labor. You now have the diagnostic framework that the electrical services industry built its replacement revenue around, keeping you from having. Here's exactly what you do. Every detail matters, so pay close attention. Purchase 1 can of electrical contact cleaner spray, sold at any hardware store, auto parts store, or electronics retailer. Brand names include TCRC Contact Cleaner, WD-40 Specialist Electrical Contact Cleaner, and Chemtronics Electro Wash. The generic store brand version costs $3 to $6 per can. Confirm the label specifies safe for use on plastics and electronic components and leaves no residue. Do not substitute the WD-40 original formula. The petroleum carrier in standard WD-40 leaves a residue that attracts dust and degrades plastic components over time. Electrical contact cleaner evaporates completely without residue. Before you begin any work on outlets or switches, turn off the circuit breaker controlling that device. Verify the power is off by testing the outlet with a plug-in outlet tester or attempting to operate the switch. Do not work on live circuits. Contact cleaner is non-conductive when wet but creates no excuse for working on energized devices. For outlets showing intermittent function, discoloration, or resistance to plug insertion, remove the outlet cover plate with a flathead screwdriver. Without disconnecting any wiring, insert the spray tube into the outlet slots and apply a 1-second burst of contact cleaner into each slot. The spray will reach the contact spring blades inside the outlet body. Allow 2 minutes for the solvent to work and evaporate. Reattach the cover plate, restore power, and test. For light switches showing intermittent operation, flickering, or warmth at the switch body, remove the cover plate and switch mounting screws. Pull the switch body approximately 1 inch out from the box without disconnecting wiring. Apply contact cleaner spray to the contact blade mechanism visible at the rear of the switch body. Toggle the switch 10 to 15 times while the cleaner is wet to work the solvent across the full contact travel. Allow 3 minutes to evaporate fully before restoring power. For circuit breakers showing intermittent tripping or voltage drop on the circuit, this application requires turning off the main breaker before proceeding. With main power off, apply contact cleaner to the bus bar contact surface where the breaker clips onto the panel bus. Apply a second application to the wire terminal connection at the breaker load lug. Cycle the breaker on and off 5 times to distribute the cleaner across the contact surfaces. Allow 5 minutes to evaporate before restoring main power. For dimmer switches showing flickering or buzzing, the same procedure as standard switches. Remove, pull out from box, apply contact cleaner to the rear contact assembly, cycle the dimmer through its full range 15 to 20 times while wet, allow full evaporation before restoring power. After cleaning, apply a single light spray of electrical contact lubricant, sold separately or as a combined cleaner lubricant product, to contact surfaces on mechanical switches and outlets. The lubricant leaves a thin protective film that slows reoxidation and extends the service interval between cleanings. Do not apply lubricant to circuit breaker bus contacts. The panel environment is too warm for lubricant to remain stable long term. A property manager in Denver, Colorado documented this maintenance protocol across a 24-unit apartment building constructed in 1978 during a 2021 renovation project. Pre-renovation electrical inspection had identified 34 outlets and switches across the building as candidates for replacement due to intermittent operation or resistance to plug insertion. Total replacement quote from the electrical contractor, $4,200. After applying contact cleaner to all 34 devices at a total material cost of $18, 29 of the 34 devices restored full normal function. 5 devices showed no improvement after cleaning and were replaced. Genuine contact spring failure in devices at 40+ years of service. Total replacement cost for the 5 genuine failures, $620. Contact cleaning resolved 85% of the flagged devices. The electrician's replacement quote had not distinguished between oxidation failures and genuine device failures. Because that distinction was worth $3,580 in replacement labor that contact cleaner eliminated, I need to be completely honest about the real limitation here. Electrical contact cleaner resolves oxidation-based resistance failures at metal contact surfaces. It does not repair cracked outlet housings, broken contact springs, failed GFCI mechanisms, damaged wire insulation, or loose wire connections at terminal screws. If an outlet shows visible burn marks, melted plastic, or sparking during plug insertion, those are signs of damage that requires device replacement and potentially a licensed electrician to inspect the wiring behind the device. The diagnostic sequence that protects you is this: contact cleaner first, device replacement second, licensed electrician third. If contact cleaner does not restore function within one application, the device has a mechanical or structural failure that cleaning cannot address. Proceed to replacement. If replacement does not restore function, the problem is in the wiring behind the device and requires professional diagnosis. Contact cleaning costs $3 and 10 minutes. It belongs at the beginning of that sequence, not omitted from it entirely. Michael Faraday was polishing oxidized copper contacts in his London laboratory in 1831 to get consistent results from his electromagnetic experiments. Bell Labs engineers standardized contact cleaner chemistry across the entire American telephone network in 1948 to maintain connection reliability for decades without maintenance. Raymond Kowalski stopped $560 in recurring electrical service calls with $4 of contact cleaner applied to 6 bus bar positions in a Cleveland office panel in 2008. The gray-black film on your outlet contact blades right now is the same copper oxide layer Faraday was removing with abrasive cloth 193 years ago to get his experiments to work. The $200 billion electrical services industry needs you to believe that the only solution is a licensed electrician arriving in a truck, replacing devices at $150 each and leaving you with a bill that does not address the oxidation on the contact surface the new device clips into. The can is at the hardware store. It costs $3. Faraday identified the failure mode before the first licensed electrician ever pulled a permit. You just remembered all of it. If this vault opened something for you today, subscribe and share this with every homeowner you know who has ever called an electrician for an outlet that stopped working. Every share puts a $3 solution in the hands of someone the $200 billion electrical services industry was counting on staying uninformed. Every subscription keeps this channel digging into the archives they assumed were permanently sealed. The next vault opens soon, and what is buried inside goes even deeper.